Hi there. So today we're going to discuss about the Aventador, Lamborghini Aventador, and its many versions from Aoshima and Fujimi. This is the Fujimi one. There are a bunch of variations from Aoshima, starting from the standard base model to pre-painted. We also have Roadster, the 50 years anniversario edition, and the SV. I'm not gonna talk about the contents of each kit. They are mostly the same. However, I will be opening a couple of them and going over the differences and what you can expect when buying one of these kits. So let's go. So this kit or kit family was launched in 2012. I believe it's still being produced today. It saw a lot of variations and re-releases over the years, including in 2013 the Roadster version, in 2015 the anniversary 50-year edition, 2017 the SV edition. There are also the pre-painted kits, which I think there are 4 of them: orange, white, green, and gray, metallic gray. This lineup also includes the Liberty Walk versions of the Aventador. I think those are also 4 kits of those. I don't have them here, but from what I can gather, they're mostly the same with a few extra parts. So these kits sell for 40 to 60 euros. There's plenty of availability from what I can see. As I said, some of them are still being produced today, not all of them, but I think you can find most of them. If not in a new condition, you can find them as new on eBay and secondhand shops. There is some demand for it, for these kits. The Aventador is very successful and these kits are quite popular. So let's have a look inside at the base kit. So these kits are highly detailed. They have a lot of parts in true Aoshima fashion. They do not come with photo etch parts, I believe. Maybe the newer kits have something like that, but from what I've seen in these kits, they do not. We have the masking for the glass here, the decal, not a very big one, and yeah, some parts. Due to the modular design that Aoshima took with these kits, with this family of kits, you see everything laid out, and most exterior parts are separate so that they can produce more versions of the Aventador. Chrome parts look pretty good. This is actually close to chrome. This is kind of dull, like aluminium. They look pretty good. I think you can use them as they are. Quality is very good. You can see even the ventilation in the disc brakes. All the bolts and nuts are there. Very good detail. Clear parts are crisp and they do not have any flash. No issues. So as I said, some of the exterior parts are different from kit to kit. You would see that, for example, the SV version would have a different rear spoiler, different wing, and other parts as well. Different rims, I think. The rims look pretty good, and they don't look chrome. They look more like silver or magnesium, but still good. Body itself is what you would expect. Almost no flash. Very good detail. The panel lines are deep, which is good. And yeah, this has the whole body built in, meaning the front bumper, and it cannot be changed unless you cut it out. windshield and side windows, headlight, glass, and so on. Here we have the interior, the tail lights, signal lights, dashboard. I think these are for interior as well. Looks really good, very detailed. Everything is reproduced. We also have some correction, okay, or supplementary assembling guide. It's yeah, probably forgot to add the door handle. Let's see. Let's have a look at the manual. Looks pretty good in a few languages. This is not a very complex kit. It is detailed and it has a lot of parts, but I wouldn't say it's difficult to assemble. Yeah, it does have a lot of steps, but it takes you through the actions one by one, so quite hand-holding almost. You have some optional parts here. I'm guessing you can put the spoiler in a raised position. And of course the doors are openable, the hood, trunk also. There's engine detail, and that's it. Here are all the parts. So this is one of the pre-painted versions. As I said, these come, the body is already painted. It just needs assembly, or if you want, you can. These look like snap kits. They are not. They're quite complex, and yeah, basically the same number of parts. It's just that some of the parts are pre-painted. I'm not gonna go over the whole kit. Let's just look at what pre-painted means. The parts are mostly the same. Whoops. Smallish decal here. And instruction sheet with the parts that look almost the same as with the other kits. So this is the painted version. This is one of the options, the lime green. This is, let's say, metallic pearlescent green. I don't know if it's very visible, but it does have a metal sheen to it. Looks pretty good. I see a little bit of orange peel, but overall it looks quite nice. I wouldn't necessarily keep it like this or buy this pre-painted version. I'm not a huge fan of this color, but it's nice that you can, you know, skip the painting process and just go to assembly. If you're not a fan of painting, if you want to take up scale modeling and build cars and you don't have the tools or the setup or space or time or money to paint them yourself, this is a good option to start out. And you can see here that it's painted in two colors. We have flat black and also glossy black. The paint looks good overall. However, I do see some issues here and there. They do have a bit of a lip that forms on the edges. Maybe they went too hard on the paint. Maybe too much paint in some places. And you can also see some imperfections of the body. For example, if you have mold lines, like where the plastic molds meet, you would see a bit of a mold line there. I don't know if it's visible, but it's not super bad. It's barely noticeable. It's the kind of thing that you would see in toy cars. Yeah, just they print the molds, they print the plastic with injection molding and then clean it up a bit, straight to painting. And some of those faults, defects in the injection molding process, they are visible and they come through. Like here we have a bit of flash. Doesn't really matter because it's on this interior part that wouldn't be visible, but still, I think it kind of proves my point. But yeah, overall, I think it looks good. It's a very interesting kit. I'm not going to go over the whole kit. The parts are the same. You have the rims are the same, and yeah, that all other stuff. So this is the Fujimi version of the Aventador. This was also launched in 2012, and there are 3 versions released of this kit. This is the first one. There's another version which is called the DX, the deluxe version, where they addressed some issues and they enhanced the detail a bit more. And there's a third version, which is, from what I can gather, it's just a custom livery or custom coloring of the Aventador LP 704. There are no other versions, and I think they're discontinued. These kits are a bit cheaper, of course, with the DX version being more expensive. These go for like 30 euros. The DX one is around 50 euros. And the last version I couldn't find anywhere. I'm guessing it sold out immediately. So let's go over the contents for this kit. This is quite similar to the Aoshima kit, but there are some key differences. First, let's go over the instruction sheet. This is, in multiple languages. Looks pretty standard. Not very complex. It does have a lot less parts than the Aoshima, that's for sure. And it does look less time consuming to build it. But we'll get into that at the end. Again, the doors are openable. I think the hood is as well. Yeah, we have some engine detail, but it's just one piece of engine bay. So we have the glass parts, really nice, very good quality. Some interior parts with the dashboard. As you can see, there are a lot less parts. This is the whole engine bay in one piece. I'm guessing it's not fun to paint this, meaning it's gonna be a bit of a challenge, but it's quite detailed, so that's nice. But yeah, painting it is gonna be a challenge. The interior is also more simplistic, not too complicated. Body looks good, it looks nice. I don't see any issues. A bit of flash, a bit of a mold line here, as with the Aoshima. The rims look, I would say, like silver. I'm guessing they're trying to be chromed, but they're not chromed on the real Aventador, so it's kind of a dull chrome. And we have some spare rims for some reason. Some interior parts and the underbody, the doors, and broken piece here. The discs, brake discs, and some air intakes. Very nice detail. Yeah, the quality is pretty good. We have some photo etch parts here, which is not the case with the Aoshima kits, and some instructions for using the photo etch parts. and glass masking. So in conclusion, all around great kits. The online sentiment is that the Aoshima kits are more of better quality. They have some fitment issues, which the Fujimi kits do not have, but then again, the Fujimi kits are more simplistic, not as detailed, some will say, and yeah, I would recommend any of these kits. If you don't want to mess around with painting, or you cannot because your setup doesn't allow, I would go for the pre-painted kits. These are a great shortcut. Just pick one that you like the most and just start building. If you are not bothered with that and you want to paint it yourself, and yeah, just go with any other kit. They're all great. My personal favorite is the 50-year anniversary. I don't know why, but I think this is more interesting. The body kit itself is more interesting than the other versions of the Aventador. I also like the SV and the Liberty Walk editions, but I do not have those here. Regarding the Fujimi one, I would recommend this for beginners. It's a lot simpler. It's people say that the fitment is pretty good. There's nothing overly complex with it. The decals are great. The assembly is great, and the finish is pretty good. However, the fact that it's engine bay, it's quite simplistic. Interior is somewhat more simplistic than the Aoshima. Yeah, it gets a minus on that front, but you can't go wrong with the Fujimi, especially if you're a beginner. There are other kits from Aoshima, as I said, a lot more pre-painted versions. I think 4 in total. There are standard versions as well, a few of them. There's the Roadster as well, which is really nice. And of course the Liberty Walk editions. And I think I will do a video sometime in the future with those, or at least one of them. Hopefully I will have more. And maybe I'll get more Fujimi. Maybe I'll get the DX version in the future and I'll do a video on that. But for now, this is it. Thanks and goodbye.